Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1410 of What Shift to Now, documenting the journey as I transition from brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business and back and forth. Now, today we talked about in our annual challenge mutual dislikes, so things that you and your friends have in common that you all dislike. A lot of times we're brought together in friendships and relationships by not necessarily the things we like or have in common, but by the things that we don't like. Think of any kind of a cause or a group. We don't like that there's pollution, so we join an environmental group. We don't like that there's world hunger, so we join a hunger group. We want to end world hunger. So when we want to end or have a war against something, that might bring us together. We might have mutual dislikes, and that's what brings us together. So that was our getting to know ourselves better, all about you 365-day challenge today. Our Get Up and Go challenge today was about flipping the switch, using a tool called Flip Switch, which is as simple as flipping a switch. Learned it from Lynn Grabhorn, her book, Your Life is, no, I think that's Louise Hay's book. Anyway, I learned it from one of my mentors and authors that I love to read and do their books and their workbooks. And it was Lynn Grabhorn's book. I just can't remember the title exactly. I think it is Your Life is Waiting workbook. Anyway, so in that, she's got a tool that she calls the flip switch. So when you're dealing with something and you know it's not the right thing for you, you can change it by looking at the opposite of that. So you can take the things that if you say, I don't know what I want, you can ask yourself, well, what don't I want? You list out the things you don't want, you take the opposite of that, you flip the switch, and those are the list of the things that you do want. Now, we take lists of negative things. We use this with affirmations and things. If we're saying and describing things in a negative way, we flip that around and we take the opposite of it. If we say, I want to lose weight. We don't say we want to lose weight because our brain is like, it doesn't want to lose weight. So it always wants to hold on to weight. We say, I want perfect health. So instead of losing weight, we're creating perfect health in our life, things like that. So we use that tool today to look at the process and the way we initially deal with changes and challenges, to flip that switch around and say, okay, what thoughts, feelings, beliefs, emotions do we need to have instead of what we've been automatically doing in the past to deal with changes and challenges. If we're optimally always handling every change, every challenge, every obstacle, every setback, every failure that happens in our life in the way that's best for us, we don't need the SOAP framework. But we're going to start the SOAP framework tomorrow, diving deep into that. We'll do an overview tomorrow, and then we'll dive deep the following day through the rest of the month in each of the different areas and aspects of our life to make sure that we install a purposeful process for handling and dealing with changes and challenges into our subconscious so it becomes as easy as breathing. I love the Get Up and Go challenge. It's the 10th time that we've done the 30+ day Get Up and Go challenge. Since the pandemic started, I've literally helped thousands of people to install a process that helps them to automatically guarantee that they get better results with the changes and the challenges that come their way. Because one thing we can count on is that things are going to change in our life and in the world around us. Things are always changing and moving, and we have to be able to change and move and adapt in the way that's best for us with those changes and things that come up. So that was our Get Up and Go challenge today. I actually went through a big list of and shared my ways of dealing with changes and challenges in the past, and then that's the old way, and then we'll just write the opposite of that to come up with what would be better responses to that. And we talked about that in the Get Up and Go challenge. Our idiom today was when hell freezes over. Now, I think it's funny that Facebook and other platforms automatically underline and highlight hell like it's a curse word, yet the stuff that's on the internet is mind-blowing in terms of what they deem acceptable and unacceptable. So I think it's kind of like expecting the media to be held accountable for their actions, just like social media to be held accountable for their unfair actions, will probably happen about when hell freezes over. So this idiom, I like this idiom. I've used this idiom. I've had this idiom used on me, which to me is just a not as nice way of just saying, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. It's a solid no. It's like NFW. My dad used to put NFW on Post-it notes when he worked at 3M, when he was telling people, yeah, this isn't going to fly. We're absolutely positively not going to do this. it means, there's a very slim chance of something happening. Now, I love it when people tell me I can't do something, or when they say, oh yeah, when hell freezes over, that'll happen, Sharon, because that just is a challenge to me, and it means I'm going to find a way to make it happen. It's just kind of a pet peeve of mine when people tell me I can't do something. I blame my dad. He always said there's no such thing as can't. He told me and my sisters when we were growing up, every time we would say, I can't do this, I can't do that, he would challenge us back and he'd say, there's no such thing as can't. If we were trying to do something that was difficult and we wanted to quit or give up, he'd say, hey, there's no such thing as can't. I guarantee you can figure out how to do this thing. And it might have been a project for school, or it might have been a homework assignment. And we would say, oh, I can't do this, I can't figure this out. And he would always say, there's no such thing as can't. And to me, that's a solid core belief of mine. Just like, tell me when hell freezes over, I'll do something. And I guarantee I'll do it way before hell freezes over. So those are the 3 pieces of content that I've created today. I do them every day for myself as much as for the people that I serve. But to keep me moving during these crazy times of COVID, it's just commitments I've made to myself to create content every day, and share the stuff I've learned over the last 61 years. Now, started on an endeavor yesterday. I'm trying to decide if we're going to share it or not. I'm working with it's a brand new business startup, a new business. And I'm walking the person through start to finish every single detailed little bitty step of how to do that, because they don't know how to do the details. The person's a big picture thinker, and they have all these grandiose big plans of what they want to do. But what I'm trying to get him to understand is you have to do the basic building blocks and the foundational blocks, the processes and the systems and the things that you need to do in order to make that a viable, super sizable, growable, scalable business. And so we are starting at the very beginning from, coming up with a name, doing an LLC or some other business format, whatever framework he chooses to use, every single step of the way. And I'm wondering if that is something that would be of value if we were to record and share that for you. He's doing a real estate type business, so that may or may not be of interest to you. I've got a lot of real estate experience, so it's an easy one for me to help him build the foundation and the framework and start up. But it's really the same simple process. We always just overcomplicate everything for any type of business that we want to start out. We do the same things. We will, and I've been guilty of this as well, more so online than offline, which I find fascinating, that online we commiserate over things that I never even thought about in the offline world. Things like the logo and the branding and the marketing and the copywriting, all those things. We just, go crazy over the details of those things, and we'll spend weeks and weeks or months and years trying to get something right before we throw it out there and test it with people, which is the exact opposite of what we do in the real world. We put something together, we put together a viable product, we test them, we tweak it on people as they give us feedback in terms of, yeah, this is what we want, this is what we don't want. It's very different. And so even though it's very different, it shouldn't be. It should be much, much easier to do these things online. We just pick an idea, go with it, and then boom, as things change and morph, we'll know what changes to make. So if that would be something of value, hit me up and let me know, and we will record it and share it, or we'll do it live. We could do it live too. A lot of it's boring and tedious. Well, you wait for technical difficulties and things, but I think it's valuable to share and show that as well, because guess what? I still run into technical difficulties like every other day, and they're just little problems along the way that we have to figure out and solve. And we have to have a way of solving those problems without getting all bent out of shape, or they take us way longer to solve. So let me know if you'd like to be a part of that. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. I'm going to go do some stuff. I'm going to get to work on that with them, and I will help you in any way I can. Have a great day.